Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes down to Kevin Love because I'm so confused about the Cleveland Cavaliers and their entire situation and Kevin Love, and it's all just making me lose my freaking mind, man. Before we get going on that, I want to let you guys know, I actually yesterday just started a TikTok. It's crispyflakes_YT, or you can also find it on my Instagram, which is also crispyflakes_YT, so that doesn't really help you all that much now, does it? But I do have a TikTok and I guess an Instagram, so yeah, check that out, man. I'm gonna be posting a lot of like fun content. I did the WAP, I think is what it's called, the WAP dance over on for my first video, so yes. Alrighty, so Kevin Love not showing a lot of love to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you know what, man? I'm gonna say it. I'm happy for the man. The man's got 2 years, $60 million left on his contract. He's like, I got my championship ring. I'm going to chill and get my $60 million. You know, like, that's fine. Like, that is his choice. I feel like, especially now, more in the NBA, more so than ever, we are like putting pressure on guys as they get older, which Kevin Love is only like 32 or 33, to take on a bit of a lesser role a little bit too quickly. And it's like, yeah, he should probably just ask for a buyout, because we all know that if this man gets a buyout, he's, it's probably going to be from anywhere from $30 to $45 million, probably stretched out over the course of the next 10 years, which, I mean, it's a nice little income to have coming in, but it's also not $60 million in 2 years, right? That's pretty nice too. And then he's not going to make that money up going to a different team because he's going to end up going to a team on a minimum contract, right? It's going to be the same circumstance that happened with like Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons, got bought out for $60 million. And he got the minimum deal at the Brooklyn Nets, and he would end up going to a team like the Lakers or something like that, and it would just upset a lot of people. So I'm happy with this choice here. It's like, if you guys want Kevin Love, trade for him, and that's kind of his mindset, right? Where he's like, if you want me, trade me, but I'm not taking less money, and I'm cool with that, man. I'm completely cool with that. Now, the interesting part is, what exactly can Kevin Love even do anymore? Like, what exactly is he? Because I don't think he is as bad as people think he is, but I also think he's as good maybe other people think. He's definitely not worth $60 million. It's definitely like I would expect him on a championship contending team to actually be pretty similar to Blake Griffin, where he's just no longer that all-star player, right? So now he's going to pay like an all-star, but doesn't play like an all-star anymore. Like that's kind of where I'm at with him, which is like not great. That's not great for being able to like trade for him and stuff like that. But yeah, so Kevin Love, last NBA season, only played 25 games. I'm going to guess in those 25 games, probably just was not himself whatsoever. But yeah, 12 points, 7 rebounds per game. Season before, COVID was going on, 56 games were played. Once again, kind of an unorthodox season. 18 points per game, 10 rebounds. Those are really good numbers. Season before that, dealt with injuries, 21 points. Season before that, 59 games. Like, this guy has not played really a healthy season in a very long time, but really ever. Has he ever played full 82? Oh, we got close to the rookie season, man, 81 game. What are you doing for that last game? You just chilling or something? Like, what's going on over there? But yeah, so it's really hard to gauge what exactly Kevin Love is. What we do know is that he can rebound the basketball and he can make three-point shots. And in the NBA, if you can do those two things, there's a spot out on a team for you, right? Like, I don't think we'll really see any more Kevin Love like working in the post and bowling people down low. Although when he played with LeBron James, they kind of turned him away from that type of player anyway. That was more like the Timberwolf days. But yeah, man, so I don't know if his per 36 numbers will give us any better indication. I guess the previous season, 17 points, 11 rebounds per game. So based off that, per 36, not the greatest indicator, but it's just like something like what this guy, was healthy and got starter type minutes, right? So, yeah, you look at those, like that's still pretty good. But once again, the risk doesn't meet the reward with the $60 million contract. So I want to pull up Fanspo real quick here, man. And we are going to go to this thing right here, this new thing. It's called Cap Sheets, and just kind of look at the, it's really cool, by the way, man. Like, gives you so much really good breakdown. The website, by the way, is Fanspo. I don't know if I said that before. That is the website, man. It's fantastic. I used to use like 2K for this type of thing. Imagine that. But yeah, this website is just so fantastic. Not sponsored by them, just appreciative of the really good hard work they put over there with their team and everything. So yeah, this is pretty cool because you have like the player name, like the breakdown, or anything like that. And you look at the cap space of Kevin Love on this team, like a buyout doesn't really help them financially speaking. Sadly, they are in a situation where 2022 is a really strong free agent class. So, like, he's still going to be he's going to be on an expiring deal, which might be tradable, but a lot of teams aren't going to be trading for a $28 million Kevin Love because they're going to be able to spend their money on some of those top name free agents, right? Where, it maybe in a circumstance where it's a slow free agency or something like that, maybe a team would be willing to take on Kevin Love because, like, oh, yeah, we'll take on that last year, but that's not really going to be the case. As far, what's going on with this? Darius Garland, qualifying offer. Okay, I was like, Darius Garland getting paid that 30-year all of a sudden like that, man. But yeah, I guess luckily the team is in a pretty good cap space scenario. Having Jarrett Allen on the team. Now, they did just obviously sign Lauri Markkanen. That's about an additional $17 million, but that's going to be negated after next season with Ricky Rubio. So they might still be in a pretty good space salary cap-wise where they might be able to get somebody. So $119 million salary cap. I don't know what that is compared to the NBA. Okay, so negative 120. Okay, maybe they won't actually have money to spend. $44 million. I don't know, I can't read this shit, bro. Give me a damn headache, bro. But you guys can decipher that how you want to. Yeah, you can decipher how that you want to, man. I think they'll be in a situation where they might be able to go for somebody, is I guess what I'm kind of getting at. So, yeah, looking at the list of teams, I mean, let me move this over here so I can put myself right back there. Okay, like, what team could even really use Kevin Love? Hawks. Like even in like a buyout situation or a trade situation, we'll probably go through, okay, maybe they do come with a buyout, like what team could sign them. I think there's a lot of teams that really could, but like trade-wise, I don't really see anything plausible, man. I don't see anything plausible. I know like the Dallas Mavericks, there was always maybe talk of like Kevin Love and like other pieces from the Cavaliers for Kristaps Porzingis, because those two guys get in different change of scenery. But also, obviously, Kristaps is a better, at least, risk right now than Kevin Love is. So, at least with that, I mean, it's like, can't even do that anymore because they got Evan Mobley and Lauri Markkanen. So, it doesn't even make sense, like trying to flip Kevin Love for, like, a younger type of power forward or, like, a younger type of player. They already did that by getting Lauri Markkanen on the team. And they got Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. So, it's like, there's no room for that. It's like, really, there's nothing to do. Like, you got to trade him for, like, draft picks and like, expiring contracts. I don't know, man. Denver Nuggets, I mean, you could probably combine something with, like, Will Barton eventually, maybe around, like, the trade deadline, I suppose. That would be some way to look like Will Barton and, like, some other pieces, I guess. They don't got Gary Harris anymore to, like, match contracts, so that's not going to work. Detroit Pistons, please don't. Golden State Warriors, I like them on that team, but financially, you can't really make a fit because you're not giving up Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, in 2021. You're not doing that, right? And, like, Draymond Green plays power forward and everything anyway. So, Houston Rockets, you might be able to argue something with, like, Kevin Love for John Wall and picks, and that's just so the Cavs at least get some picks out of it, and they're not really going to be able to free up cap space in the long term anyway to sign anybody, so they can take on John Wall's contract. They might actually have pretty similar contracts. I'm not too sure about that. Let me check out their payroll. Now I'm kind of curious. What is John Wall's contract? So it's 2 years. Okay, so similar circumstances. He has a player option. He's probably not declining that. Unless he has a really good season. But he would be on the bench for the Cavaliers. But at least it gives them more depth or something like that, right? Pacers, don't really see anything there. Clippers, if they could figure it out, that would actually be a pretty solid fit to have him as like a second option to Paul George till Kawhi's healthy. I know Luke Kennard, Luke Kennard's got a pretty large contract, man, so there might be a case to work out right there. Lakers just do not have the money. Memphis Grizzlies, no. Miami Heat, I don't think have the finances. Bucks don't. T-Wolves, that would be awesome if you went back there and play alongside like Cat and everybody, but I don't think they can do it. Pelicans, no. Knicks, no. Thunder probably financially could make something work, and they have the draft picks and everything. Like, no, I guess the Cavaliers have to give up a draft to get rid of Kevin Love, but he would actually get a chance to play over there because they don't really have any big guys. Magic, but he doesn't want to go there though, because like he would want to go to like a team that just wins like a championship. 76ers, we're gonna be checking out something a little bit where there's actually a Sixers trade I kind of somewhat agree on. Phoenix Suns, they already got Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder. Like a few years ago, I would have said Phoenix Suns, but they don't need him anymore. Portland Trail Blazers. I mean, maybe like a CJ McCollum for Kevin Love and like some draft picks, or maybe like you have to toss in one of the young assets of Isaac Okoro or Colin Sexton to get a guy like CJ on the team. That's something to think about. That's something. I mean, like I said, there's a lot to kind of brainstorm with that one, but that would definitely work because you got Norman Powell on the team who is like 6'4". I don't really like him as small forward, so he can play shooting guard for that team and Maybe, I don't think they'd give up a Carl, though, man, to get CJ McCollum. Maybe they would. I don't know. Sacramento Kings. Maybe Marvin Bagley, Buddy Hield type of thing. Different scenarios for them. But Marvin Bagley, once again, you can't really get like a young big guy because there's going to be no room for him to develop already with Lowry being on the bench, right? Spurs could probably make a case there if there's the contracts to match. Raptors, Utah Jazz. He would actually fit nice on the Utah Jazz next to like Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I actually love the idea of that. And we got the Washington Wizards. Okay, so yeah, we're over on Twitter. I asked you guys to give me some trades. We're going to go through these. There's only one that I saw where I was like, okay, I kind of like this, but the rest I didn't actually see yet. So we got Kevin Love for a Hyundai Civic. No AC. Damn, bro. Where are we living at with that? Depends where Kevin Love gets traded to. I guess the Golden State, the no AC, maybe it won't be too bad, right? Does it get hot in Golden State? Kevin Love for Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric. Financially does not work out. Chick-fil-A. Be a lot of Chick-fil-A. Josh Kogi, Jarrett Culver. Jarrett Culver no longer plays for the Timberwolves. A trade centered around Kevin Love for DeAndre Jordan. Financially, once again, does not work. And that's the big part right here, man. We got, okay, this is the one where I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe. Kevin Love and Colin Sexton to the Sixers for Ben Simmons, Shake Milton. Take off Shake Milton. Kevin Love and Colin Sexton for Ben Simmons. And this is only if the Cavaliers are even down for trading away Colin Sexton. That's the only way whatsoever. I know a lot of Cavs fans love Colin Sexton. I don't blame you guys. But if there was a chance to package away Kevin Love and Colin Sexton, you want Isaac Okoro to actually be your shooting guard, and you got Ben Simmons at the 3, for like defensive reasons, then I think getting rid of Kevin Love 2 years ahead of time and saving some money by only having Ben Simmons instead of Kevin Love and Colin Sexton to be able to free up money for free agency, it's just something to think about at least. It's something to think about. I'm not saying it's the best trade ever, but just something to consider if you want to like maybe up your team a little bit in a really bit of a different way, right? We got Kevin Love for Carson Edwards. Would not be able to happen because of the salary. And yeah, man, that's the biggest issue. Yeah, this guy, Bench Mob, agrees with me right here. Wiggins is worth more than Kevin Love. So that's not happening this year. That doesn't work financially. Impossible. Just buy him out. That's kind of where I'm at the part with, but unless you buy out his entire contract, like Kevin Love has his full right to say, no, man, like I want to get paid my money. Like this is my last big contract. So, and I have the rest of my life to think about. So no issues with that at all. But it seems a lot, Cade Cunningham and Jeremy Grant, damn, bro. But it seems a lot of people are kind of leaning towards like he should be buyout. But yeah, that's really it. So what's this trade we got right here? Kevin Love, no assets incoming. So okay, they just get Kevin Love and all the picks and they get nobody back. Beautiful, man. I like it. I'm sure Thunder fans would love it too. Alrighty, guys. That is all we have for this video. I'm going to guess... we got some Arby's curly fries? Y'all consider that. That's all we got for this video, man. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. I don't know what's going on with Kevin Love. I hope we figure out quickly because, man, we've been talking about him leaving the Cavaliers for like 4 years now. So thank you all so much for watching. Okay, so I was literally about to like start editing my video and shut down the studio for the day, but this literally just popped up on my timeline, man. We got Kevin Love wishes he'd been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. And not Larry Nance Jr., who got traded to Portland. So the Cavs are in a no-win situation with Love. Well, I'm happy to say there's probably still a chance he could get traded to Portland if they want him, and there's an opportunity to get him, man. So we are going to go over here real quickly to the trade machine and just see if that type of trade does exist. Because I'm very curious now, man. I saw that pop and I was like, you know what? Got to turn that camera back on. So I don't know if it's going to be possible, though, but let's go ahead and hit up where we at, man. Portland Trail Blazers. Okay, so $31 million. Does that exist? The only way, is pretty much what I said earlier in the video. Kevin Love to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for CJ McCollum. And I'm going to say maybe picks. We'll toss in unprotected pick going to the Trail Blazers from the Cavaliers. Another one. And I think that's probably good, right? 2 unprotected first-round picks in exchange for an older CJ McCollum. You get Kevin Love out of it. You have Norman Powell who can play the 2. You have, Derrick Jones obviously on the team now. Robert Covington can play probably some small forward if you need him to. You probably, get some other guys, Nazir Little, maybe give him a little bit of opportunity this season. I think that's probably the best trade we got there, man. For it to happen, right? So what do you guys think about that? That's like literally just off the top of my head. Let's try it. It is successful. And that's assuming, they don't want to give up like Isaac Okoro, which I don't really blame him in that case, right? But, oh man, but I even look at that and I'm just like, are we going small ball then with the Cavaliers? CJ at the 3, I guess. Darius Garland backup point guard. I don't really know. It really is a lose-lose situation for Kevin Love. There really is not a good trade. That makes complete sense. And he's also on CJ is a better player, but he's also on a 3-year deal. But also maybe more tradable around the trade deadline. Gotta think about that too. That's all we got, man. That might actually be worth it, just the fact that he's more tradable. Do what you gotta do. I mean, Cavaliers aren't making the playoffs this season anyway. Trade him at the trade deadline or next offseason. There you go. There we go. We figured it out. Okay.